Today, there are more networking certifications than ever. And if you're like me, you're probably struggling with which would be the best for you to invest your time and your money in. Well, I'm Anthony Sequeira, one of the edutainers here at ITProTV, and let me help you know what the pros know. So some of you out there are going to be in the situation where this really isn't much of a question. You are going to be starting a job with an employer and they have made it clear to you that they are a Cisco shop, or maybe they're a Juniper shop, or they're an HP shop when it comes to the networking equipment. So you are going to be achieving certifications in those areas that they have specified. Maybe even specific tracks within those vendor certifications. So you may have a company say to you, we need you to learn everything there is to know about Cisco wireless as quickly as possible and achieve the highest level of Cisco certification possible in the area of wireless. Well, clearly your decision's being made for you. You need to enroll in those certification training programs and you need to acquire those certifications. For others of us, though, for the vast majority of us, we're not going to have that luxury of the employer telling us exactly what we need to achieve from a certification perspective. So I've got a great idea for you. Why don't you consider beginning with a vendor-neutral approach? The CompTIA Network Plus certification is ideal for this. And keep in mind, if you're brand new to IT, you would not be starting at that level, most likely. You could do, right here at ITProTV, you could do the IT fundamentals, so you can really get that great foundation that you need to move forward. You could go from there to our A+ training, and then you could tackle the Network Plus certification. What's great about the CompTIA Network Plus is that it is vendor neutral. It is not going to be biased to the technologies or the exact how you do things with one network vendor. It's going to be much more vendor neutral, teaching you the fundamental principles of routing and what a router generically does in order to route packets and topics of this nature. Once you have that vendor neutral awesome foundation in networking, then you can look to add vendor-specific certifications in networking. Cisco's always a great one to look at because they are the dominant player when it comes to networking equipment. Look at desktop support, you would be thinking, okay, well, I need to do a lot of Microsoft training because they're still the dominant player there. So we should consider getting that vendor neutral certification and then adding vendor specifics as we go. And here's one of the great things that's going to happen. When you achieve, let's say it's the Cisco networking certification of CCNA, when you achieve that, and then you decide to pick up another vendor so that you can really demonstrate to an employer that you not only know the fundamentals well, but you also know vendor specifics well, and you did the extra work of learning like Cisco and Juniper. Now you know about the routers that comprise like 90% of all networks. What you're going to find is when you move from Cisco's cert to Juniper's cert, you're going to already know much of what you need to know. For example, the Cisco certification is going to teach you all about the physical layer and the data link layer and the network layer and the transport layer and what technologies are employed in those different layers. Well, guess what? When you get over to the Juniper networking certification, all that information is going to be there as well. So there's going to be a ton that's just review for you as you pick up these vendor-specific certifications. In fact, CompTIA taught you much of that at the very beginning of your whole journey. So it's very easy to add on certifications from specific vendors as you're building this portfolio of networking certifications. If you look at cloud, the latest advancement in networking, if you look at cloud technology, you're going to see the same thing there. I started my journey with Amazon Web Services, but I was able to quickly understand and work with and become certified in Microsoft's Azure, the Google Cloud Platform. These are very simple to pick up once we've done all that hard work with the initial vendor that we specialize in. So what networking certification is right for you? Well, that's going to not be a one-size-fits-all answer. For some of us, it will be very clear and delineated by our employer or our potential employer on exactly what we need to do. For others of us, we might want to go ahead and build a nice portfolio of certifications that would include vendor neutral and vendor specific certifications. It's always a great way to go to be well-rounded on that resume and to demonstrate that you don't have technological bias. Companies aren't really going to be thrilled if you take that, hard line in the sand approach of, I only do Cisco networking, or I only do Juniper networking. Companies are probably going to want you and need you to be much more flexible than that. Well, I encourage you to check out ITPro.tv to learn more information. My name is Anthony Sequeira, and now you know what the pros know.